Hey, hi everyone. This is Gail here from the Facebook Masterclass. Today, I want to focus on the 7 deadly sins on Facebook. And the reason I want to cover this today on our webinar is that so many of you are doing Facebook wrong and can have serious consequences for you if you don't take heed of some of these things that I'm going to, or all of them in some case, that I'm going to mention today. So, hey, thanks for coming on the webinar. It's so cool to have so many of you on here. And I wasn't sure about calling it the 7 deadly sins on Facebook, but obviously many of you thought it was worthwhile popping on and having a look. And so let's go through them, and some of them I'm going to actually go onto Facebook and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. But let's just get into it. If you have any questions, hey, just pop them up into the little box there, and I'll come back to them. So let's just get started here in the 7 deadly sins on Facebook. And the very first one I want to look at is revealing your complete birth date. Now, I've been one that kind of changes my birth date on one of my other profiles, and don't let me hear you say that out loud that I have too, but I'd forgotten that I'd even had it. And I changed my date profile on there. The only problem with that, of course, is I couldn't remember what my birth date was that I had on there, and so I wasn't able to get back in it. So it's a real nuisance. So that's not really a good answer to change your birth date completely. But some people won't go on Facebook because they're worried about the security on there. And you can control this. And so what I'm going to do is whip over to Facebook here, and let me show you exactly what I mean. So I'm in my Facebook here profile, and what you can do, guys, is you can go in here into your account settings, and my suggestion is that you change your settings for your birth date, etc. So you'll see in here, and I'm not going to go into all of them because then you'll see all the things I'm trying to hide. But you've got security in here, and you can make sure that you go and have a good look around inside these things here. You've got privacy. You need to go through these things and make sure you've got everything set up really well, because you don't want people pinching your identity or pinching anything else that you might have hidden away in here. And so, or in some of these other places. So you do need to be very aware of that. Now, if you go in, I'm not going to show you this, but if you go in to where your birth date and all that is set up, you can actually tell it not to show the year that you were born. So you need to go in and make sure you're very, aware of all the different settings that you have inside here. Now, it's not under profile, it's under account. And it's under account settings and also privacy preferences. So you need to just get in there, go and have a look around. And you'll see here your status, photos and posts. I've got it set to everyone, but you might want to change it to just friends of friends or friends only. You can get in here and you can change these things. And so I suggest that you go in here and that you do have a good look around and you set this up well. All right, so you need to, you've got view settings here. You need to get in here. I just don't want to, I was going to go in and show you everything, but too many people may get to see this, so I'm not going to do that. So you just need to go into your account and set it up properly and make sure that you turn the year off. You can turn the year off, you can turn everything off so people don't even know when your birth date is. So you can go in and have a bit of a play in there and make sure you set it up the way you want it. You can control this. And so you just need to go and have a look and make sure you're very happy with the way that it's set up. But you do need to control this and make sure that you haven't got your full birth date showing. Now, if you want to receive happy birthday wishes from people, yes, I see what you're saying. You want to have everybody wish you happy birthday in case your own family forget. I know, I understand that. But here's the thing. If you can set it up so that it just has the day and the month, okay? So you have to put your year in there, but you can have it, and it's a good idea, so then you can remember it. Otherwise, you won't be able to get back into your Facebook. But the other thing is that you can just have it set so it does not show the year. Okay, so very good suggestion there that you keep your birth date hidden, and just as far as the year you're born. So you need to set that up yourself. You make your own choices and how you want it set up. But this is one thing that you do need to be very aware of and make the changes. You'll be very surprised at how you set it up, because many people, when they first set up their Facebook, maybe 18 months ago even, were not aware of how they just set it up very quickly like I did, and didn't realize that there was all these different settings. And over time Facebook has changed the security and made little extra shifts and changes, and you just need to go in now and again and check that out. So please do that. Go in and make sure you've got that set up the way that you like it. The second thing, which I think is amazing, is the amount of people that announce that they're away. And you have to be really, really careful of that. Be careful that you say, you know, I'm going away for 6 weeks on a cruise, because people are not stupid. They can find you, all right? And so you need to make sure that you don't go announcing when you're going to go away. You might as well just hand the keys out there, you know, leave them under your mat out the front door, so that people can just get in on their own. Yeah, I know. Someone's just put up there that they didn't really think about it. So yeah, that's the problem. I think with social media we don't think sometimes, not very well anyway. So we all do it. I mean, I've announced many times I'm going away, and so now we just have to be very careful that of what we say, especially if you've got teenagers in your home. You don't want to be announcing to all the world that you're going to be away. We know all about social media and parties, don't we? So be very careful with what you announce on the on Facebook, because remember that it stays there. You know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's like that on Facebook. What happens on Facebook stays on Facebook and to the rest of the world. Okay, so the next thing I want to put on here is using an obvious password. I don't know how many have had your security and people have got into your Facebook, but be very careful with that. Even having your own family getting access to your Facebook, you have to be very careful of that. And so I wouldn't be picking any obvious passwords at all. And make sure that you don't use your kids' names, your own name, or even your date of birth, because remember, on the previous one, on number 1, you've just announced to everybody what your birth date is. So you just need to make sure that it's not an obvious password. It's a combination of letters and numbers. And just watching the questions come in, I know that is an issue. There are so many passwords that we have to remember, and they have to be even more cleverer every time we open something else. So you can get some programs that remember all your passwords for you. What I was always worried about, that I might forget the password of the program that holds all my passwords. That was my biggest concern. But look, there's a lot of programs out there that you can get that will remember your passwords for you. But you need to make sure that you don't just find any old quick one like your name spelled back to front, or, as I said, your birth date. Why would you do that when you've already told everybody what your birth date is on number 1? So just keep that under control there, guys. And as I showed you before, you need to go into the privacy controls and check them out. If you are a young mum with some beautiful children and you like to post their pictures up online, be very careful with that. Remember what people can do with pictures that have beautiful children in them. So you might want to just make some of your pictures, especially of your children, you might want to make them secure. Remember that when you put pictures up on Facebook, that just about everybody has access to them unless you change your privacy controls. So you need to be very careful about that. And just make sure that you have it set up the way that you would want it. Now, you don't want one of your beautiful 3-year-olds or whatever, 2-year-olds lying on the ground with their nappy being changed, and then in a few years' time, that's sort of circulating around on the internet. So you just have to be wise and controlled in what you put up online. So be very careful with the with everything, and make sure you have your privacy controls set. Facebook are doing a lot of work now on the security and privacy, and so they're often changing things, and sometimes the default is what is set up, of course. I mean, often the default is there, and if you don't go in and change it, then you could have a few issues. So please be careful and make sure you're aware of what's in the privacy controls there. I think the biggest issue that people have everywhere, as I said earlier, is a lot of people just don't think before they post. I mean, they really just don't think. Some people have put things up on my wall that I thought, how rude, and I do not like swearing, and I hate it. And sometimes, or I don't like, what do you call it? I was going to say rude pictures, but that's probably a bit of an old-fashioned word, but I don't like pictures of young girls with hardly any clothes on or no clothes on at all, and yet sometimes people post that on my wall. It really makes me cross. Or they might have posted it on their own wall and it's come through in the news feed. Now I always click them off, and at the moment, this very moment as I'm recording this, there's a picture going around at the moment with a young girl with hardly any clothes on, and unfortunately all the males are clicking on it, and of course it's a virus and it's a viral thing, so as soon as they click on it, it goes onto everybody else's wall. So you need to be very careful about what you click on and what you post, and certainly need to be very careful what you post on someone else's wall. That's not very fair. But the other thing you need to be careful of is there are many insurance companies out there, maybe your boss, maybe someone you have applied for a job for, and they're out there searching. They're searching to find out who you are, what kind of person you are. Oh my goodness. And they're trying to find out anything they can on you to find out whether they should employ you or not. And so you need to be thinking about that all the time, about what you're posting up online. The other thing is, if you are having an argument with your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or whoever else, for goodness sake, use the private message feature. Don't make it out there into the public so that we can all see what's going on. So use the private feature. Now let me just show you where that is so you know. So if we go to the home here, we come up here and there's a little, this is the email feature here. Alright, so we've got the emails that are sitting in here, and use that. If you want to send a message to someone, go send a message. Get their name up here. All you have to do is type their name and it'll come up and you can send them a message direct, or you can use the messaging down here, or the new one that comes all the way across here. There are a lot of options. You do not have to show, as we call it in our country, air your dirty linen, as we say, for everybody to see on Facebook. If you're having an issue, for goodness sake, keep it quiet so that we don't need to see it and we don't need to take part in it. I'm often clicking the little X here to remove things off my wall where people are having arguments, or I don't know, they've just got some stuff going on and they're unhappy, or the swearing, or whatever it is, and I just come along here and I just remove. Now I'm sure you've all seen that before, where you just come here, you click on there, you go hide this post or hide all. Teresa's fine, so I don't need to do that. And sometimes when it's a post which is all spammy, then I report it, because I get sick of some of the stuff that comes out. But you just need to be very aware that keep things quiet. If you're having arguments, keep them to yourself. Don't put them up here, because it's the same reason as this here. There are people out there, insurance companies and all sorts of people out there, just looking to see what's being written on Facebook. And remember, as I said before, what's on Facebook stays on Facebook, and the rest of the world, it just gets out there. So if a person did a search on you and you had a lot of stuff on Facebook that really wasn't that good, maybe you've been drunk for 5 nights in a row and you did some really stupid things and you posted your pictures and you posted all the stupid things you did up on Facebook, and people are going to see that. What about if you had an insurance claim and that you had a very bad back and you couldn't do anything, and then you posted on Facebook that you're out playing tennis, that you're out playing golf, that is not appropriate. So you need to be careful. I'm not suggesting that you be sneaky and do illegal things at all, but I'm just saying what you have put up on Facebook, you need to be very, very careful. You need to think before you post, I think. And use the private message feature so we don't have any issues of being part of your big fights or breakups, split ups, whatever it is. And also, sometimes if you're having conversations with your children or having conversations with someone, it's probably a good idea to use the private message rather than have 25 or 30 little messages going backwards and forwards to each other, especially if it's on someone else's wall. So use the private message feature. I'm sure that that is a very handy thing for you. Now, the other thing which a lot of us don't even think about really is mentioning the name of our kids or our grandchildren. And it's something that I never really thought about. Now it's different. I do think about it before I put the names up there. And also, I haven't been very quick on my Facebook of saying that these people are my children. This is my grandchildren. You know how they do it likes to work out who's part of whose family and who's brothers and sisters and all that sort of thing. I haven't been very quick at doing that, but I noticed that my children have, and so have my brothers and sisters. They have picked me up and said, this is my sister, this is my brother. I haven't done all that sort of thing, and I think it's just wise to just not do it personally. But also it comes back to just keeping some things a little bit hidden, a little bit secret, whatever. But mentioning the names of your children and your grandchildren under the age of 13 can be a little dodgy. So I suggest that you really think about that, and it comes back to number 5, not thinking before you post. Just remember that everything on Facebook is very out there, unless you've got your security settings to only friends. But not everybody on my Facebook is a friend. Some people I don't even know who they are. There's about 3,000 people. I don't know who they all are. Some of you will know all the people you have on Facebook, and you've kept it just to your friends and family, and that's fantastic. But whatever you do on Facebook, you have to remember that it's out there. People can see it, and you just need to control the privacy controls and think before you post. And if you happen to be in a little grumpy mood, let me show you something, and you do post something up here and you think, oh my goodness, I should not have done that, I should not have posted that, all you have to do is go to your profile, onto your wall, and quickly delete it off. That's all you have to do. So if you make a mistake or put something up and when you think, I should not have done that, just quickly delete it out. All right, that's my suggestion to you, that you control yourself. That's the big thing. So I hope that's been helpful to you all, and thank you for coming on the webinar. I know it's a really quick one, but I didn't want to hold you for too long. But this has become very important, that you all be very aware of the things and the pictures, the things that you say on Facebook are out there, and they need to be controlled. So just having a quick look at your questions here. I think I've answered all of them. Yes, I know the password thing is a big issue, but as I've said, look, just go find the program, I can't remember it at the moment, that keeps all your passwords safe. What can you do about the things that you've got posted with your kids' names? Well, you can go in and delete them out. You can go and edit your photos, etc. So you could go in there and edit them all and take the names out. So you can still alter things, guys. So just remember that it's not set in stone, and it still can be changed. And you can still delete pictures out that you think about, maybe I shouldn't have put that up there. So I hope that's been helpful, guys, and it's a pleasure to bring this to you. So this is Gail here from Facebook Masterclass. Enjoy your day.